Hello there and welcome back to International Fathers. I'm your host and your creator, Nelson Moody Sr. You know, we're still talking about fathers and fatherhood in reference to dealing with our child or children from every aspect, telling and teaching and just mentioning certain things that a father does to his child or children that impacts their life. That's what it's all about. I'd like to read you something from my book, Men Are Loving, Caring Parents Too. We're going to talk about guidance right quick. Guiding the airplane requires lots of schooling and the ability to memorize a computer system. All you pilots out there, raise your hand. Alright, thank you. Guiding your child or children does not need a lot of schooling to do. And you know that. I've heard different things. For me, guiding is someone means that they were willing to follow you. So you really want to do this good. This does not mean that everything else is less important, because everything you contribute to the life of your child or children are essential for them to develop and define young men and young ladies in the years to come. Guidance. Guiding them and teaching them in the way that they should go, the way that you would like them to go. You see, for me also, guiding is setting that example. You know, being an example to my children, because they look at me as a hero, an icon, an empire. They look at me as to being all kinds of goodness, and I want to make sure that I stay transparent to them, to where as though they could know some of what my moves are and some of what I may say and won't say to people and to others as it relates to me being a role model to them and their father and a good guide to them. You know, we as fathers never want it misinterpreted or misrepresented that we don't guide our child or children, because guidance means that that son of ours is going to want to be just like us in so many ways. He wants to emulate us in so many contributing ways that is not funny. It's good that our son or sons see this goodness in our father guiding them. On another note, our daughters will see that my dad is guiding me. Once I get older, first of all, I don't have to look for no love in no other male, because my father's love validates me as a little girl. My father's love is unconditional. My father will love me despite of what I may do or say or don't do or say. And in essence to all of that, I want someone in my life almost like my father. And I say almost because, once again, you know what I said before, there is nothing on this face of this earth like a father's love. And we give him respect to God and a spouse, not to get taken out of context. That's what a daughter sees in her father when he's guiding her. That's what a son sees when that father is guiding that son or sons. And if you're a senior, if you're a senior, make sure you set the best example for Junior, because Junior will want to know why you named him after him. Junior will want some goodness to be attached to that name, Junior. And if you're a third, he wants this goodness to come from Junior, so that he can be proud to be named after his father. And it goes on and on and on and on. You know what I'm talking about out there. Guidance. Read you something else from that book, Men of Loving Caring Parents, too, in reference to guidance. Being a good guide will have your child or children follow you and listen to your instruction as long as they live. Even when they're adults, that guidance from an early age will always be in them. Oh, my father told me nothing but the best. My father told me what's best for me. My father is listening to my circumstances. My father is listening to my reasoning. My father is listening to my trials, my tribulations. My father is listening to my success and my accomplishments. My father continues to validate me as his child. My father continues to love me as his child. My father continues to guide me as his child. My father continues to recognize me as his child. Preach in here. My father continues to do everything he did when I was a child, when I was a little boy and little girl. My father still does that. Just a little bit different now, because now you can sit back and watch what he has done all these years. Applying himself, implementing certain things. Love, discipline, direction, instruction, correction. Everything he's supposed to have. He's did it. And continue doing it. And he gets my stamp of approval. That man, that father of mine. Daddy, how you doing today? That's strong. That makes and keeps a bond strong. Forget crazy glue and Elmo's glue. A bond between a father and his children. Tight and strong, that nothing or no one can ever separate that. Fathers around the world listening to my voice here on International Fathers, you know what I'm talking about, and your child or children know what you're talking about. So continue doing the good job that you are doing around the world. Read you something else in this book. It may be hard for some people to recognize, because they're not used to seeing positive images in their life. Positive guidance. They're used to seeing the negative influence, the negative attributes. Or they like this: blind to see the positive, blind to see the positive attributes and guidance a father has and implies them to and on his child or children, when there's plenty of positive out there. Or they may be narrow-minded with binders on and saying only one way. If you are out there listening to my voice in YouTube land around the world, take the blinders off. You don't need them. It's all around. The positive attributes of fathering, that guidance, is there. All around. Whether you know it or not, or believe it or not, or see it or not, it's all around. Y'all gotta excuse me for that. Sometimes I get worked up and my adrenaline starts to just flowing. blood pressure just shoots up when I talk about the goodness of fathering. Because I take it serious. I take my fathering very seriously. I don't take it lightly whatsoever. Always have and always will. Because I know that there are people who I help make are watching me. So I must give them the best that I can give as their father. And your children will in time examine you. Believe it or not, they will examine you to see if you are to them what you say you are. If you are to them what you are supposed to be. But when you're guiding and there's no question, there's no doubt about it, your child or children see it, they believe it, and they just flow with it. They just go with the flow. Not because they have to, because they want to, because they see with their own eyes and get their own understanding of a father's guidance. And then that flip on and get passed on to direction. Because direction and guidance will go and can go hand in hand. A direction. Giving directions on a test in school. The teacher tells you that you're being tested. These are the directions. I'm going to pass out pencil and paper. That should go on the right side of your desk. The test on the left side. The directions. Fathering directions. Son, daughter. When you leave out here to go to school in the morning, make sure you have all your belongings that you need to have a good day in school. But prior to all of that, that little toddler, giving him or her directions to pick up their toys, place their shoes under the bed or wherever designated. Direction. Time to read. Time to read you a bedtime story. Direction. Come here. Direction. Child getting older, more responsible, more inquisitive, more curious. Different levels of direction. Different levels of directing your child or children to do what you need them to do. Fathers! Direction. We instill it. I'm passionate. I'm passionate about fatherhood. My children, the people who know me, and some who know of me, my passion, my purpose, my calling, fatherhood, bridging fathers and children, connecting fathers and children. If there's any father out there in YouTube land, around the world, who is disconnected from his child or children, for whatever reason, work your way back to being connected to them and stay connected. And I understand there are certain circumstances that fathers go through that will have them disconnected. I've been there. One, a judicial system. That's also a barrier. You can read my books, When a Judge Can't Judge, My Nightmare of the Court System in Baltimore, Maryland, Parts 1 and Part 2. get emotional over that. I'm passionate about fatherhood. But let me go back to directing, since that's our topic. Directing our children throughout their life is worthwhile and is rewarding in the long run. The more directing we do, the less we have to say. They remember. And remember, little children are like sponges. Their brains, their minds are developing, and they just soak up everything. So as fathers, doing some good directing. I'd like to read you something about directing, if I may. If I may. Direction can be a straight and direct path with a certain amount of assertiveness to it, or it can be an indirect path with less amount of assertiveness. At any rate, whichever positive direction a father directs his child or children, you can best be sure that they will benefit from it. That's deep. I'm going to read that one more time real slow. Directions can be straight and direct path with a certain amount of assertiveness to it, or it can be an indirect path with less amount of assertiveness to it. At any rate, whichever positive direction a father directs his child or children, you can best be sure they will benefit from it. Go over there, my son. Come here, daughter. Do this, do that. There's a reward. There's not a reward. Do it. Listen. The right directions a father instills in his child or children are very important from the beginning of their life, which is the foundation. And everybody knows out there in YouTube land, a foundation is the beginning. There has to be solid, which is the best foundation for his child or children. An early foundation of direction is very important in a child's life. Why is it that? Because it enables a child or children to follow something as simple as his father's voice. Hand and coming in and out of the room where he or she is in. An infant understands direction. When they get to rolling around, starting to move at 6, 7 months old, they understand that. They can hear and see, recognize their father's voice as he comes in and out of the room. And soon as this child gets older, when he or she see dad, they jumping around like this in the crib. Wow, that's my father right there. Direction. Direction. Is instilled early ages. Men are loving, caring parents too. Yes, we are. Forever. You can order this book as well as my other books at authorhouse.com, Barnes and Nobles, Borders, eBay, Amazon. You can Google my name. My books are also available ebook and Nook. Once again, I'm Nelson Moody Sr., your host and your creator of International Fathers, a talk show like no other you have seen. Remember, we educate, inspire, and empower fathers here. We don't bash. We don't bash. We don't bash fathers. We don't bash no one here. Forget what you see the other talk shows do. Bashing and degrading, humiliating, making mockery of fathers in front of people. Millions of people. International Fathers, we don't do that here. This is a positive talk show. Educate, inspire, encourage. I'm on Facebook, Mingle City, Black Planet, MySpace. I'm also where else? Here on YouTube under International Fathers. You can read more about my work at www.nelsonlmoodysenior.info. It's my website. I just love fatherhood. I just love it. I just love it. To me, it's the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. With respect to God and the spouse, remember that. You know what they say now? Fathers, call those children. Call them up. Call them up. Children. Now, call those fathers up. Call your father up. Call him and talk to him. Talk to your father, children. That's a two-way street. Talk to your father. Father, talk to those children. That bond is very important. Keep it. Fathers. Hug those children. And children, hug those fathers. Hug them. Hug them. Guidance and direction. Until next time.